Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A portable shelter, usually of canvas stretched over supporting poles and fastened to the ground with ropes and pegs. He pitched his tent near the creek. Live in or as if in a tent. The circus tented near the town. A web that resembles a tent or carpet. A portable shelter, usually of canvas stretched over supporting poles and fastened to the ground with ropes and pegs. A site where people on holiday can pitch a tent. Temporary living quarters specially built by the Army for soldiers. Live in or as if in a tent. An exclusive circle of people with a common purpose. Establish or set up a camp. A site where care and activities are provided for children during the summer months. City kids get to see the country at a summer camp. Shelter for persons displaced by war or political oppression or for religious beliefs. Temporary living quarters specially built by the Army for soldiers. Wherever he went in the camp, the men were grumbling. Live in or as if in a tent. Can we go camping again this summer? Providing sophisticated amusement by virtue of having artificially, and vulgarly, mannered or banal or sentimental qualities. They played up the silliness of their roles for camp effect. A group of people living together in a camp. The whole camp laughed at his mistake. A penal institution, often for forced labor. China has many camps for political prisoners. Give an artificially banal or sexual quality to something that is considered amusing not because of its originality but because of its unoriginality. The living room was pure camp. Temporary lodgings in the country for travelers or vacationers. Level ground is best for parking and camp areas. Live in or as if in a tent. Live in or as if in a tent. A way of organizing business to reduce the taxes it must pay on current earnings. The condition of being protected. A structure that provides privacy and protection from danger. Invest money so that it is not taxable. Protective covering that provides protection from the weather. Provide shelter for. After the earthquake, the government could not provide shelter for the thousands of homeless people. Temporary housing for homeless or displaced persons. Actually being performed at the time of hearing or viewing. A live television program. Have life, be alive. My grandfather lived until the end of war. Capable of erupting. A live volcano. Possessing life. The happiest person alive. Elastic. Rebounds readily. A lively tennis ball. Be an inhabitant of or reside in. People lived in Africa millions of years ago. Support oneself. Can you live on $2,000 a month in New York City? Continue to live and avoid dying. The race car driver lived through several very serious accidents. Charged or energized with electricity. A live wire. Have first-hand knowledge of states, situations, emotions, or sensations. I have lived a kind of hell when I was a drug addict. Abounding with life and energy. The club members are a really live bunch. charged with an explosive. Live ammunition. Exerting force or containing energy. Live coals. Highly reverberant. A live concert hall. In current use or ready for use. Live copy is ready to be set in type or already set but not yet proofread. Lead a certain kind of life. Live in a certain style. We had to live frugally after the war. Of current relevance. A live issue. Pursue a positive and satisfying existence. You must accept yourself and others if you really want to live. Be an inhabitant of or reside in. Fill with inhabitants. Populate the forest with deer and wild boar for hunting. Exist or be situated within. Be an inhabitant of or reside in. This kind of fish dwells near the bottom of the ocean. Think moodily or anxiously about something. Originate, in. The problems dwell in the social injustices in this country. Come back to. Don't dwell on the past. Exist or be situated within. Strange notions inhabited her mind. Be an inhabitant of or reside in. The people inhabited the islands that are now deserted. Be present in. Sweet memories inhabit this house. Computer network consisting of a collection of Internet sites that offer text and graphics and sound and animation resources through the Hypertext Transfer Protocol. An intricate trap that entangles or ensnares its victim. Construct or form a web, as if by weaving. The flattened web-like part of a feather consisting of a series of barbs on either side of the shaft. An interconnected system of things or people. Tangled in a web of cloth. A fabric, especially a fabric in the process of being woven. An intricate network suggesting something that was formed by weaving or interweaving. The trees cast a delicate web of shadows over the lawn. Membrane connecting the toes of some aquatic birds and mammals. A bell-shaped tent. A small tent used as a dressing room beside the sea or a swimming pool. A large piece of fabric, usually canvas fabric, by means of which wind is used to propel a sailing vessel. A tent made of canvas fabric. A heavy, closely woven fabric, used for clothing or chairs or sails or tents. An oil painting on canvas fabric. The setting for a narrative or fictional or dramatic account. The crowded canvas of history. The mat that forms the floor of the ring in which boxers or professional wrestlers compete. The boxer picked himself up off the canvas. Cover with canvas. She canvassed the walls of her living room so as to conceal the ugly cracks. A tent made of canvas fabric. A large piece of fabric, usually canvas fabric, by means of which wind is used to propel a sailing vessel. A heavy, closely woven fabric, used for clothing or chairs or sails or tents. A tent made of canvas fabric. An oil painting on canvas fabric. An inquiry into public opinion conducted by interviewing a random sample of people. The setting for a narrative or fictional or dramatic account. The mat that forms the floor of the ring in which boxers or professional wrestlers compete. Consider in detail and subject to an analysis in order to discover essential features or meaning. Get the opinions of people by asking specific questions. Solicit votes from potential voters in an electoral campaign. A tent providing shelter for a family. A tent with a fly front. A tent that can be carried in a backpack. Tent that is an Eskimo summer dwelling. A wedge-shaped tent, usually without a floor or windows. A Native American tent, usually of conical shape. A Native American tent, usually of conical shape. A Native American tent, usually of conical shape. Tent that is an Eskimo summer dwelling. Tent that is an Eskimo summer dwelling. A tent designed for occupancy by 2 persons. A small tent with a single supporting pole and radiating metal ribs. Tent that is attached to the side of a building. Permanent canopy over an entrance of a hotel, etc. Large and often sumptuous tent.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.